Welcome to Late Night Gaming. My name is Rachel, and today we will be continuing Danganronpa. I still don't know how to pronounce it. In our last episode, we were investigating Chihiro's murder, and admittedly, I have no idea who it is. I have forgotten. Well, actually, I edited the last video recently, but I don't know. I don't know who it is. I felt so smart in the first murder investigation because I called out immediately like, oh my god, it's Leon because of the 11037. Like, those are numbers. Those are letters upside down. Like, I feel so smart. But in this one, it's not as obvious. And at least to me, it isn't. I don't know. Also, I would like to say sorry that I haven't been uploading recently. The videos that I posted last week were all recorded like 3 weeks ago. Ah! Oh my god, I was adjusting my microphone and it all fell down. I am so sorry. What the hell, microphone? Yeah. Last week's videos I recorded about 3 weeks ago, and I just never edited them. I have been feeling very unmotivated to do anything lately. I just get into these, like, I don't know if they're funks, but it's just like I don't want to do anything. Though I have been writing recently, and I think my creative spirit had kind of switched from videos to writing, but I'm ready to start making videos again. It's just sometimes I'm feeling just don't want to do anything. Like, everything was boring in those 3 weeks. Books, TV, shows, or movies, YouTube is just, I don't know. Everything was boring to me. Music, everything. So I am feeling more energized, at least to do this, and I am ready to absolutely flop this trial because I have no idea what's going on. I don't think it's Toko. I think she is a red herring. Ahem. So, is everyone ready to what? Am I blind or are we missing someone? Also, it's been a while since I've voiced these characters. Hope I still can remember all their voices.
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here.
Huh?
And Toko is... You really don't remember?
Come on.
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like that, he said a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, and he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible. You're terrible. Ooh, so now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle on to the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here.
Hey, come on.
Fucking Toko, man. What's got her so worked up? I gave you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. Okay, let's go. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. Thank you for that, Kyoko. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator dropped and we all died. The end. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. Didn't you already say this in like a different way, Makoto? The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very
Good, good. You're rip-raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
well.
Okay then, let's get this show on the road. You already said that.
Thrills.
Why is everyone repeating themselves?
Thrills.
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. I don't remember what the old stage looked like. Oops. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly class trial. Nice. Yes, let's review, everybody. The victim was Chihiro Fujisaki. The time of death is estimated to be around 2 a.m. The body was discovered in the girls' locker room on the second floor of the school. The cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was killed instantly. Although Chihiro wanted to get stronger, she declined several invitations from Sakura and Aoi, and may have used the locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite this, Chihiro had stated that she desired help with her efforts. She may have been meeting someone in the locker room the night she was murdered. I think I saw a spoiler, and I did not mean to. I think I know if it is true. I didn't mean to see it, but the only reason why I was looking up stuff about this game was because I wasn't sure how much YouTube would accept like my more grisly thumbnails for this series. So I was like typing in Chihiro's death, and there's videos with thumbnails of her hanging up there. So I was like, well, if they're not taken down, I guess I'm okay. And I didn't know if I had to blur stuff, so I was going into these videos, and I may have seen some of the comments. And I don't know, because now that I'm thinking about that comment, I can kind of... I hope not. I will actually be devastated. The dumbbell found on the floor of the girls' locker room had a significant amount of blood on it. Chihiro had told anyone willing to listen that she wanted to get stronger. Some assumed that due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. To unlock a locker room, you need to swipe your e-handbook over the card reader. You need a male student's handbook for the boys' locker room and a female student's for the girls. It is not possible for two people to enter at the same time. Additionally, lending someone your handbook is a violation of school regulations. The handbook of each student that has died is placed in the mailbox in the main hall. One of the handbooks found in the main hall had been broken, which is apparently a rare occurrence. Junko and Sayaka's handbooks both seem to still work, so it is assumed that the broken handbook is Leon's. However, Monokuma claims it's very unlikely that Leon's handbook would have broken. That's weird. I don't remember that. Suspected genocide Jack victims include Kin Harada, Tetsuhiro Honda, and Shoji Gaku, among countless others. They were killed in the same way and mounted to a nearby wall. The word bloodlust was found at the scene of each crime written in blood. Profiling indicates the killer is likely a student suffering from a split personality. See, that is immediately pointing at Toko because she's like muttering shit and she's being a freaking weirdo. But I don't think it's her. Chihiro seems to have consciously kept her distance from the other girls of the school, even from the beginning. Meanwhile, it had been noticed that she got along remarkably well with her male classmates. The carpet in the boys' locker room was found with a blackish stain on it. That is not a black stain. That is brown. It's a shit stain, okay? Blood was found on the poster in the girls' locker room. Meanwhile, the poster in the boys' locker room was for a boy band popular with teenage girls. Chihiro's handbook was not found on her corpse and has apparently gone missing. Chihiro's body has been suspended and her hands have been bound with some kind of rope. Her fatal injury was a blow to the head. Sakura mentioned that she was responsible for a coffee stain on the girls' locker room floor. Coffee. Okay, whatever. However, the stain had since been inexplicably scrubbed away. Because the rugs were switched. Byakuya was known to use the lamp often, however, the extension cord has gone missing at some point and the lamp's cord couldn't quite reach the outlet. Because it was used to tie her up. See, this is the stuff that I don't understand. On the night of the murder, right before nighttime, Chihiro was spotted leaving the warehouse. It seems she was stuffing some blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag. Presumably, she was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found at the crime scene. Celeste had not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. And that is it. See, this is where I kind of wish I know it's like all part of the trial, but I kind of wish like Makoto had this ability to connect clues together and make it a little more simple. That's what tripped me up about the last trial, is that I thought certain things were already figured out, but apparently they weren't. And I'm like, am I just being stupid? Or are these characters stupid? Like, they're all supposed to be smart. But I'm sitting here like, I thought we already talked about this. And you're asking questions that I thought were already answered. So, like, I wish Makoto had the ability to connect clues to kind of condense them down. Like the library desk lamp. Dude, it is so obvious that someone went to the library, took the extension cord, and then used it to tie Chihiro up. Or, like, the disappearing stain. I don't know. That stuff just, like... What? You be quiet, unless you're gonna solve a mystery with me. Okay. What do these do? Shh. Increase damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed, effective during the bullet time battle. I thought we had it. Oh. My cat is being noisy. Alright, let's just jump into it.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Okay.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yeah.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No!
Interesting. That
What?
certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
I know! This is...
Chihiro's fatal injury.
Wait, hold on. How do I, like,
It
fast...
appears it was a head wound.
How do I fast forward? I don't
According to the
remember!
Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Boom.
Interesting. That
Fuck!
certainly would make
Come on! How do I, like... Hold down the control key. Okay, let's get this shit over with. God damn it!
Bet it was an iron pipe.
Oh my fucking god!
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
Why would... Do we not talk about this shit with everyone
It
beforehand?
was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
Oh, shut up, low pants.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack? The fiendish serial killer? Why are you acting like you don't know this? This is kind of frustrating. It's like he hasn't heard this shit. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, great! We saw how fucked I was earlier. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. Well, what's my difficulty set at? I don't remember.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
Yeah, get that white noise bullshit out of here.
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be 2 defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
Why hasn't anyone killed him?
But more important is the
I'm
other
just saying.
characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world has at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the positioning of the body. Yeah.
I got it!
Got it!
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
Yeah.
Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
God damn!
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
He's gonna be the last one. He's gonna be one of the last to die because he's like comedy relief.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Wait, what? That one. Oh! Wait. Oh, schizo, okay. I need to know.
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, it has to do with her behavior. Her behavior changed?
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not doing that laugh. Whoa! Is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in.
It was to keep herself from getting out.
It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
No! Don't you break my blinds. You are pushing it, buddy.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
What are you, a psychologist?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry. I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Togo's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Ew! What the fuck is that? Get it off my screen!
What the heck?
Oh, he has to stand next to her. Ew!
Figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, What happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound and murderous mind, sound and murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Punch her! Punch her, Sakura!
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie.
How is her tongue so red? I am just like...
Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Okay. Shut up, Toko. Hold on. Or Genocide Guild, whatever the fuck your name is. Okay. How do you think characters that have long-ass tongues like that, how do you think their tongues sit in their mouth? Like, where does it go? How does that work? Like, hold on. But then it's like, it just sits in our mouth. What the hell? This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane. I keep forgetting the space bars like that auto shit.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds!
I'd kill her right there.
Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Ramping it up. Shh, phone.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
It must be modus operandi I'm supposed to...
The modus operandi matches completely.
No, that's wrong.
I don't even know what modus operandi means, but it's fancy,
Are
so...
the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Yeah, I just noticed in the pictures, like, all the victims were suspended by scissors.
Huh?
Not an extension cord.
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Calm down and put your tongue back in your mouth, young lady.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything.
And they're all men, right?
What happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it!
Okay.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
Okay, I just want to point out that all these scissors look the same. Like, who's making the scissors? These are not your typical scissors, it looks like. These look very fancy. Probably needs to be, like, special ordered, maybe. I don't know, maybe I don't know enough about scissors. Yeah, custom made. Right here. Did no one, like... Did no manufacturer go, oh my god. This one person keeps ordering these same style of scissors. Could it be? Oh, but the bodies weren't. Okay. Like... This case makes no sense.
From a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Why didn't they, like, show what the scissors look like to the public? Unless they did.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
I don't know, she's kind of making me hungry. Like, I haven't had tortellini in a hot minute. That sounds delicious.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you'll see a clear difference. How the body was... What was used to suspend her?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
It's an extension cord, you idiot!
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement! Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use.
Yeah, why didn't they release the murder weapon to the public and be like, any manufacturer out there that has been hand making these scissors or like custom making these scissors, can you please step up? Thank you.
And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac?
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac! There's actually one more difference!
Huh?
Yeah, Chihiro, a lady.
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is...
I got it! Is it because...
Toko's sexist.
Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
She doesn't kill equally.
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
No, they were all men. Not reading all that.
All guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of a one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
Yeah, why didn't she kill you?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you!
What is gonna happen to her after this trial?
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot! So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
That's pretty relatable. I don't know how to tie a good knot either.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Hold on, I had to take an emotional sip of Diet Coke. Actually, hold on, there is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. Who? I have to select someone? I don't know. Okay. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but I saw a comment on One of the videos as I was looking into, like I mentioned earlier, and it said it was him. I don't know if it is, though. I don't know if maybe I read it wrong. Would it be Byakuya? Because he said that, like, his home library... I'm saying him.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it.
I don't know what that person was talking about, because Byakuya makes more sense than fucking Mondo.
The adorable glasses man was behind it all? Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
When you started getting, like, really enthusiastic about this case.
The way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody's searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added. Yeah, I don't... What the how many elements are added to these stupid trials? Truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize the weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. How do I flashback?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it.
Oh my
That's
God.
a natural reaction for any guy.
There might be a murder happening
The
behind me.
victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first.
But we didn't
There
know
no
it was
time for
Chihiro,
pointless
right?
Distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Yeah, he's gonna be one of the last to die.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of... but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity to check...
That's a natural reaction.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Wait, what?
Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity...
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro.
Okay.
No, that's wrong.
I thought we were... Okay. I thought maybe we would use his
I'll
words
tell you
against
what's so
him.
strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was.
Yeah, Byakuya.
So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with
What's the
him.
matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in
The
there.
extension cord.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you
Which he
mean?
was using. The differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there. What could it be?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Oh my fucking god!
Somebody else must have had it hidden.
This white noise bullshit is out of control.
When I want to kill, and I use those same scissors.
I know. Okay. So I gotta...
That's right! Then there must be something...
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get...
I'd never seen that rope before in my...
No, that's wrong.
Objection! Are they made by the same people? Ace Attorney in
I'm
this
pretty
company,
sure
or
you
this
have
game?
seen it before. Because you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
Yeah.
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned, as if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Hold on. Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. The scene of the crime, right? Because all the stuff was switched.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
I see a little bead of sweat on your face.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason
Oh, he's
for
getting
saying all
angry.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There has to... Yeah. Oh. Isn't it... Or is it the two...
I got it!
It could have been
the
both.
Proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
I would lose it. I'd be like, alright, let's just... I'm done. End me now. I never want to hear that uttered in a trial case ever again.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
Maybe the girls just like looking at other girls.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
Maybe the boys just like looking at cute boys.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
The shit
You're
stain.
referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
Which
While
would
I was in
probably
the
give
girls'
you the
locker
shits.
room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible.
What is on top of the carpets? Like, isn't there exercise equipment? You mean to tell me Byakuya moved all that stuff?
What? In other words, In order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
With Leon's handbook.
To get into the locker room, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Yeah. Yeah, we know. Makoto. Hold on.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Got you something from Oregon.
Oh. Okay. Oh, look at that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have never been to... No, I have. I was in Portland for maybe like 30 minutes. Well, thank you.
What are you playing?
The Danganronpa or whatever it's pronounced as.
Gotcha.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook!
Nope.
She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
How's that wrong?
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Lending. You can borrow, though, I think.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it, then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the... You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
Drilling a hole through the wall with a spoon. Like in Shawshank Redemption.
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Not drilling, digging.
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We hit it off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully?
Don't.
Like,
no.
Our hands?
No way, no way, no way, no way, no way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, don't let a boy touch her dead body.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Is this going in a... Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
Is Chihiro a guy?
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
A guy?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he.
Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What? You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Okay.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, no, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
So did Byakuya use one of the...
Apologize for keeping you waiting.
Oh no, he could have just...
Let's
No?
resume the class trial.
He could have used Sayaka or Junko's handbooks, I
We
guess.
just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy, the thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
It's so... I get it. It's so that it would look like a girl killed Chihiro. Because everyone assumed that Chihiro was a girl. And it would make it easier for Byakuya to plant it on Toko. Because she would have access to the girls' locker room.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd.
You're getting a little sweaty over there, Byakuya.
I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
Don't rub against the mic.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Yeah.
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? Why?
But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
I am so intrigued.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about
What
it a
other
little
clues
more.
do we have left?
You're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
She's our girl. She's with us to the very end.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means... the killer is a guy? Wait, hold on. So... yeah, the killer is a guy.
I got it!
Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Oh no! That might be true. No! I swear to God, if that comment is
Isn't there
true.
a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Shoot!
Whoopsie daisy.
Isn't there a single
I don't know
clue
why I did that.
might lead us
I always
who
listen
did
to it once.
Clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over.
Fuck!
It's all over. You want to know who saw the killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man. Game over.
No!
Okay, so it was any new info, Celeste account.
Isn't there a single clue? Well, did nobody get...
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
The fuck? What?
Isn't there
This
a
is where
single
I
clue
get
that
so
might lead-
lost.
Did nobody get a look?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer...
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
Yeah. All we need...
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And
Is that the only
killer.
other
It's not
option?
like they're just gonna... Game over, man!
Okay, so it's fucking that one.
Isn't there a single clue?
This could go toward any one of
Sure if
these.
someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw
Okay,
the
it
victim
makes
at
more
some
sense for it
point.
to be connected to new info
It's
since
over.
me
You
and
wanna
Celeste
know
are
who
the
saw
only
victim?
ones
The
who know
killer.
about it.
And only...
Why would I connect it to that? That's what makes no fucking sense. Maybe I'm just dumb.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Oh, the victim. Oh.
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
The victim. Okay, I am dumb.
Really?
That could have, no, it could have gone to new info too.
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
What? Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe. What?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Oh, damn.
This exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way.
Not a chance.
Yeah. No, I got it.
First of all, we know he was on his way to. So next bit, why did he choose this?
What do you mean, the specific?
I got it! He picked that track. It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit?
How do you know that? No!
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into the duffel bag, and then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it.
Because they were destroyed.
The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Cherry?
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue
Oh
from
my
the culprit.
goodness. Did you just hear my soul come out of my body?
That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Because I hate him. The way he talked? Or the way he acted? I don't fucking know.
There was a certain
Oh.
turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you?
What the fuck?
Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
I don't remember him saying that.
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to Chihiro's because his handbook was missing.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
By hitting its weak point.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
Can it be shattered?
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think
No, the
it's a
other
necessary piece
Monokuma in
of
the room.
information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
Why would he have Leon's handbook,
What do you
though?
mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
Mondo. Probably happened when he was doing that contest thing with Taka.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Yeah. It was Mondo.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school
Freaking
uniform
hair.
on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then
Is it
Mondo,
broken in handbook?
you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
Okay.
No, that's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that
He
supposed
took
to be?
Leon's.
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Leon didn't technically loan it out since he's dead.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Oh, no. Okay, so... Okay, that goes there. Well, let me look at this. Would it be this one? Because now they have the dumbbell in their hand. Is it just showing the splatter on the... What is this one? So he picks her up. So this is him rolling up the rug, tearing off the poster, picking her up. Taking her to the... These are really confusing. Okay, so Chihiro is in the warehouse. Celeste is there. Celeste points at the duffel bag. Chihiro runs away. Is this him getting into the boys' locker room? There's Mondo. I would assume, like, he would have to be holding the dumbbell because now he has it in this picture. And then the blood splatters. I'm thinking this is supposed to, like, show that the blood got on the poster. Rolling up, taking the poster off. This is where I'm getting a little confused. Picks her up. Takes her to the girls' dorm using Sayako or Junko's... What goes here? That maybe? And then Byakuya comes in with the extension cord, wraps her up, writes Bloodlust. Well, this is the only one... Maybe this is hers, or his. The fuck? But this one's red. This is so confusing. Maybe this is like closing the door on the sauna.
Here's exactly
I don't know.
what happened. First, let's take a look back to before the incident.
Okay.
Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct?
Yeah.
At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him.
Okay. There's a gnat
That's where
flying
the
around my room.
bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the
These sound
moment.
effects.
The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room.
This is where
without much problem.
Damn it. So this one... This is where I'm confused. Get out of here, you stupid gnat. Could it possibly be this? Like, No, this is the bathhouse.
The killer is you! After all, Sayaka and
That's
Junko's
not right
handbook,
either.
Using one of those, a boy could get...
What the fuck? I don't get it. Maybe this is like him opening the door. Maybe this one goes here and then this one goes here. This doesn't make sense though, because he's going toward the sauna. Or maybe this is him leaving.
The killer is...
I don't know.
You! After all, Sayaka and Junko using one of those, a...
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? What is it? Can we go down this stupid thing a little bit faster? Fuck it, I'm looking it up. That is so confusing. What is it? I don't even care. We know who it is. We know how it... Some of these freaking panels make no sense to me. What? It's this one? And then it's this one, and then it's this one.
The killer is you!
I thought...
After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
Okay. Here's why I thought it was not that. Because look at how this is arranged. You mean to tell me he had Chihiro on his shoulder the entire time and put the poster up first? Why wouldn't he put Chihiro's body down first and then put the poster up?
With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence?
You fucking idiot.
You need evidence! You need proof!
We just went through the whole trial.
Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo's the killer that already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element has been added. Oh my god, another fucking element! I don't remember how to do this.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen!
What?
I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence!
This should prove it.
Nega? Like negative?
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we
Why
do that,
didn't we fucking do that earlier?
You don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
Why? Mondo! What the fuck? Don't. Okay, we got an A.
Bro! What are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
So the comment was right. Oh no. Why? Why though?
What?
Uh-oh. This time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Owada. In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way he could kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. Thank you. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. He had heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on that fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him, and it was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
But I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later? After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the thread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, the day he made the commitment to begin exercising, he was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was! The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So I think this is supposed to be Monokuma. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep his secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you... Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong.
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it.
Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, the secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. And the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before everyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. Ugh. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... God damn. Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team, you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard clump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus!
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
'Cause I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrapped myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I'd never had, so I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking me with... Are you fucking me? Are you fucking with me right now?
No.
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I just spat all over my screen. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. I'm not repeating all that. Stronger than you.
You son of a
And
bitch.
stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him down on the ground. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him. You see, you're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch! Go ahead, say that again, I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want, is what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution? That's what I
well,
promised
now,
you,
well,
right?
now.
The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Awada, the ultimate biker gang leader. Oh my god. The first thought that popped into my head for his punishment is that he gets like tied to a motorcycle or something and he's like dragged. Kind of like they did with horses in the Wild West.
It's punishment time!
Or he gets run over by a freaking truck or something. I don't know.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Oh my god. I gotta say, like, I am not... I'm someone that can't watch gore. Not because it, like... I've watched gore before, and it, like, gory movies, and it never has made me feel physically sick. Watching that, though, and watching Mondo just accept it, I felt ill. I really felt like intense dread while I was watching that. Because these are kids. Like, these are teenagers. They're still in high school and they're being forced to go through this. And it is very, very bleak. And I read a lot of, like, horror, disturbing novels, and I don't really get a reaction from them just because I've always found it difficult to, like, visualize in my head while I'm reading something. I have a feeling that if any of those books were made into a game like that, I would just... wow. God damn it. He was... no. Dude, Mondo was my favorite character. He was... look, his hair was so doofy, but I liked him. God damn it. Well, fuck. I don't even want to, like, read his lines. I want to know who this is. I am so curious who Monokuma actually is. 'Cause, like, why would anyone want to put teenagers through this? Laugh at death, and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again that he, of course, had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. Byakuya.
What is this?
You're completely insane. You know that, right? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response, except that
However,
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you... oh God, what voice did I give her? So you ignored the nighttime rule too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse.
What?
You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing the Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene. But damn, man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Yakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next.
You
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean? Mean? Mean?
What the heck?
I hate it when they me. Good grief! I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me. The noble son of the noble family. Truly you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Togami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled
so
up.
Cool. So it's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. I love it when they add that laughter, so, you know, I don't have to do it. Not that I would, but it's nice that they added it. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Measurements? Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
What are they gonna do with Toko? Now that they know, oh, the present.
I know I shouldn't cry, but I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. Getting out of here anytime soon. It's impossible. I can't let myself think about how much I want to get out of here. If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to.
Donuts. I need to eat some donuts. That'll cheer me up. Glazed donuts, twisty donuts, jelly donuts, cream-filled donut holes, malasadas.
Okay.
Oh, God of donuts, I'm praying for a wonderful encounter. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for breaking the nighttime rule. But right now for me, donuts are absolutely necessary.
Huh?
What's that sound? It sounds like it's coming from the bathhouse.
But...
I'm super scared, but... Is someone there? What? The morning after the conclusion of the second class trial. Everyone met up in the dining hall just like always, and I expected it to start like any other day. That's what I expected, but... Today's count kind of sucks, huh? Toku and Byakuya still refuse to show up. And I haven't seen Miss Asahina anywhere. She said her stomach was hurting, so she's taking it easy in her room for today.
Oh.
That is rather... Oh. That is rather unusual for her. Normally she is so full of energy. Which is exactly what makes me worry.
So then...
So it's just the 7 of us, then. It looks that way.
How about that?
It's times like this where the committee chairman needs to get things going with a bang.
Impossible.
Or not. Taka hasn't said a word since everything that happened yesterday. One look at his face showed he hadn't slept a wink last night. It must be because of Mondo. The two of them became so close, and then he finds out Mondo killed Chihiro. And then, having to watch Mondo get punished, and nothing he could do about it. I can't even imagine what it must have done to him.
Well...
So, I mean, what's gonna happen now? We haven't found any way out, and we have no idea if help's ever gonna come. Now I'm all depressed just thinking about it. We simply have to make the best of things, do our best to get along, and live here together in peace. Forget about the outside world and accept this new life. That is the only hope we have now. What? To live here forever?
Well,
here we have every convenience. We have food, clothes, our every need is seen to. Why are you dissatisfied? In fact, let me ask you this. What is it about the outside world that you long for?
Is that okay?
Competition, discrimination, victimization, and violence. As society grows, so does its perversion. In which case, in our current is our current situation not demon angel, pretty pudgy princess?
Huh?
Here we go.
Maggie, the drill shop owner, the bunny-eared Amazon, cat girl, dog boy, Robo Justice, the Galactic King, and what I mean is there's no 2D here.
There is nothing to
The
be done.
mastermind puts such base desire to their advantage, bending you to their will.
You know?
Okay, well anyway, since Taka's like catatonic, as the oldest one here, I'm officially stepping up to take the lead. So, we're all gonna work together and spend the rest of the day searching the school. Searching?
I'm right.
Well, I mean, since the class trial is over and all,
Perhaps.
there should be new places for us to investigate. Yeah, that's the ticket. Maybe we'll find some kind of clue this time.
Well then.
Then once we're done eating, let's split up and begin looking again. Looking around. Do you have any problem with that, Celeste? There may well be a discovery waiting for us, which may further enrich our life here. No. The plan is to look for clues. And just as we were starting to come together, she barged in and ruined the conversation.
You called for me, and so I appeared.
Genocide! What? Nobody called for you! What the... How come it's Genocide Jill and not Toko?
Yes!
God, this place is just amazing! Finally, a place I can just be my murderous self! Which is why I've decided to stop holding back and spread my wings. No more hiding in a cave for me. Plus, I have another battle to fight. The whole killer with a split personality thing is so overdone. I gotta destroy that stereotype. I'll fight all day and all night to murder those totally slanderous cliches. But you are a killer with a split personality. If she weren't here, my chances of survival would be at least 10%. Come on, you gotta back me up here. Even the biggest stars need the little people to hold them up. Well, whatever else we do today, first we should eat. We can't do anything on an empty stomach. You're right. Let's hurry up and eat so we can start our investigation. So we were forced to eat breakfast with a murderer, and after our much-needed but very annoying meal, we set to work looking around the school. Alright, well that is where I'm going to leave this episode off. After Mondo's death, I did not want to keep reading. I didn't want to do the voices anymore. I am not kidding when I say that I felt, physically ill watching him die. And the fact that Monokuma has plans for, he has executions designed for every student in case one of them is blackened is just so fucking morbid. I find this game very fascinating, intriguing, and it is fun, but man. Even with Leon, I felt, I don't know, I don't remember how I felt. I think I was pretty quiet while I was watching it, because it's just so horrific. That's it. That's all I have to say about this episode. I am very curious who's gonna be the next victim in the next trial, and I do have to say this. The trial is very confusing. There is so many things they just threw in, different aspects, like, oh, you can do this and you can do that, like, let me teach you another part. It's a little bit much, and I hope, like, in later games, I don't know if they follow the same pattern as, you know, like, this whole game, but if there are trials in future games, I kind of hope they kind of, like, tamed that part down a little bit, because it's like every 5 seconds there's a new feature to remember, and I'm already struggling to remember the other ones, because I think I played the last trial, like, a couple months ago. So all the new features and stuff are, you know, have been kind of lost on me. And that reenaction stuff, that was very frustrating. Because, like, in my mind, you know, if I were in Mondo's situation and I was carrying someone, why would I continue carrying that person unless he did put her down or him down or whatever and then put the poster up? But the way that the panels were, you know, arranged, it's like he put the poster up first and then put Chihiro down, which I feel like should have been reversed. So I thought maybe it had something to do with the handbook. That was really confusing. Some of them are so vague. It's like, well, this could go here. I don't know, maybe that's... I don't know. And once again, the trial is, like, connecting clues. It's like Makoto completely forgets everything that we investigated. I don't know. Just the way that it's written is very... It seems there's something off about those trials, where it just seems like everyone just kind of loses common sense. You know, I don't know. There's just something weird about them. But that's really my only criticisms or my complaints about this game. But other than that, I am enjoying it. It just, man, after those executions, like, I just gotta... They're rough. I'm probably gonna go eat. I know it's like, it's 2 in the morning, but I'm kind of hungry. So I might go eat something and kind of think about, just process what I just played. These trial episodes are gonna be very long. Hopefully I can cut some stuff out, but they're just long episodes. These trials take a long time to get through, but I just feel like it would be wrong to kind of cut the video in half in the middle of a trial. That doesn't feel right to me since it's so fast-paced. But yeah. Well, on to the next victim and murderer. But yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. This was Late Night Gaming. If you like this video and you want to see more, you can click that subscribe button, and while you're down there, please leave a comment. Press the like button. Have fun. I will link the playlist to this game down in the description below. In case this is the first video of mine that you're stumbling across and you liked it, you can start at the beginning. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.